Workers everywhere want to work from home, and businesses somehow are going to try to keep them back in the office. I'm not really sure how this is going to play out, but I think your success in working from home will be inversely proportional to the size of the corporation you're working for.
If you're working for a smaller business, you might be able to stay working from home a lot more.
But if you're working for a big company like Amazon or Tesla, get ready to drive to work. It's important to note, though, however, that about 32.6 million people in the United States are now occasionally working from home. That's way up pre-COVID. And you should also know that around the world, working from home is becoming increasingly accepted and possible because the data infrastructure is becoming increasingly more reliable. As you know, this is near and dear to our heart as a remote-first company. I expect this to continue. I am excited to be a part of this trend.
We are at the nexus of something greater. This is our story about building a remote-only company that spans the entire globe. This is the future of business, technology, and global remote work. You are watching Discovering the Possible.
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome back to Discovering the Possible, where we explore the future of business, technology, and global remote work. I am your host, Chris Nolte. Today, we're going to dive into something that every business and every individual thinks about this time of year, and that is goals for the year ahead. How you're going to get there, and what you need to do to plan for that outcome. Today, we're diving into something that every business and every person is doing this time of year, and that is setting our goals for the year ahead. Stay tuned. As we step into 2025, we all start thinking about the new year and what we can accomplish in our personal and professional lives. And it's worth noting that this is the time of year that the gym memberships go bonkers. This is the best time to be in the health and wellness business because everyone makes commitments to themselves to be a better person. And so if you're getting into the gym business, you want to be there before the new year comes around. But it's also a perfect time to reflect on what's good for your business, not just your body and your career and your personal growth. So as we look at the year ahead in 2025, I think there are amazing trends and opportunities for us. First, let's start by mentioning the elephant in the room, AI. We've heard it now the last couple of years. AI is going to be big. AI is going to be big. But this year, AI is going to be bigger than it's been. And it's not just the war between Anthropic and OpenAI and the tools that are going to be coming out. It's going to be about agents and the role of agents in AI workflow management. This is going to be something you're going to want to be paying attention to because it's the thing that's going to change the workflows in your workforce and in your business and allow you to become increasingly more efficient in the years ahead. For those of you who haven't quite gotten your AI game going yet, you are not alone. In 2023, a little over 50% of the people have been trying AI. In 2024, it's been around 72%. But I think it's important not to be the last to show up at the dance. If you're looking for a place to start, the most important thing you can do is pick a tool and make it a part of your everyday activity. Take an interest in what AI might think about a project you're working on or a problem you're trying to solve, and be surprised. Just the other day, I was talking to a very experienced marketing person and turned them on to Claude. Claude is a great tool in the Anthropic repertoire of tools, and does a fantastic job of imitating people's brand voice. If you're looking for a tool to imitate your own voice, the way you communicate, Claude's your tool. Now, a topic that's close to my heart, remote work. And let's just say that the battle will continue. Workers everywhere want to work from home, and businesses somehow are going to try to keep them back in the office. I'm not really sure how this is going to play out, but I think your success in working from home will be inversely proportional to the size of the corporation you're working for.
If you're working for a smaller business, you might be able to stay working from home a lot more.
But if you're working for a big company like Amazon or Tesla, get ready to drive to work. It's important to note, though, however, that about 32.6 million people in the United States are now occasionally working from home. And that's way up pre-COVID. And you should also know that around the world, working from home is becoming increasingly accepted and possible because the infrastructure, the data infrastructure, is becoming increasingly more reliable. So, as you know, this is near and dear to our heart as a remote first company. I expect this to continue. I am excited to be a part of this trend. Next up, sustainability and responsibility. And I think the message here isn't about any particular viewpoint. It's actually more about building community around attitudes and ideas. Building community, both with your internal people and with your clients and or customers, is going to be really important. And making sure that these communities are aligned with their goals and attitudes is going to be equally important. For Kayana, we are creating community both on the remote professional side and on the client side. That's going to be a big goal for us in 2025. Then matching these communities up is going to be part of the challenge as well. Our fourth trend is continuous learning and development. So much is changing in the world today. People are being outmoded in a matter of months and or years. After 10 years, because the tools and the AI and the tech are rapidly advancing. And so the only way to keep up is to continuously learn and develop your talents and skills. And not only are you going to have to make a concerted effort to keep up, but the companies that you work for are going to help you get there. Otherwise, you'll become increasingly less valuable. The only way to keep up and to stay fit is through continuously learn and develop your skills and capabilities so that you stay relevant in the marketplace and relevant to your employer, so that you can always show up as your best self. So when I talk to people about their careers and their functional skills, I look at their functional skills within the context of the future and AI and who will end up doing what, or playing what roles in performing work. Where this becomes particularly important is when you are providing functions and skills that are either going to be automated by AI or don't touch AI at all. I get very nervous when functions and skills don't touch AI, ironically, because I'm not going to be able to benefit from the skills and capabilities of these new tools. On the other hand, if you have a role or function that's going to be outdated because of AI, and think customer service and service bots now, you really need to stay ahead of that and diversify your skills and capabilities. So I think part of this is keeping up with the change and the trends. And another one is diversifying away from any one functional area, because the fact is AI is going to make us all more productive, and you're going to be able to do more of the thing you're doing and more things outside of your core skill. So if you're a bookkeeper, think about being a something and a bookkeeper. So lead with something else, be a bookkeeper in reserve, and I think you'll be better off, and you'll have a more protected role within a company as a remote professional and or as an employee. So now on to the fun part of setting our New Year's resolutions and transformation goals for our own businesses. There are three things that come to mind. And the first is a focus on efficiency. I'm ever nervous about the world we live in because I actually think we're in a deflationary environment. I mean, there's a lot of anxiety towards inflation right now, but my sense is as the world flattens out, we are actually more likely to be deflationary than inflationary. Part of this is that people don't buy stuff anymore. They buy experiences or they buy software. Another part of this is that the labor pools are opening up and now knowledge workers and or AI is redefining how work is done all around the world. I think the way to stay ahead of that is to focus on efficiency. Focus on using remote work. Focus on using AI tools to make workflows more efficient. You do this and you focus on efficiency and you'll be properly positioned for these deflationary factors that I'm talking about. Number two, you got to commit to growth. You can't be satisfied where you are, and hopefully you're using this efficiency leverage to get you there. So whether you're expanding your client base or growing your team, your focus needs to be working on the business, not in the business, and scaling the things that you do well to a larger audience. Just today, I was talking to someone overseas, and they were talking to me about their sister who just started a business in makeup. And I told her, I said, remember, the world is through your screen, not directly related to you. Try to figure out a way to sell these products overseas and around the world. The marketplace is much larger, and while it's more competitive, you can be more niche and succeed. So commit to growth in 2025. Finally, enhance your relationships with your internal constituents and your employees, but also with your clients and your customers. We're going to move further and further away from a transaction environment and closer to a relationship-driven environment, if only to build value. So much is going to be commoditized over time if you don't stay ahead of continuously adding value above and beyond product or device that you're selling. So this year, commit to offering better support, personalized care and or products, and communicate more and more effectively so that you're really meeting your customer or client's needs. So what do I do when I set my New Year's resolutions? Well, first thing I do is I think about the challenges and lessons learned in the earlier year, in the preceding year. I try not to replicate mistakes of the years past. So opening up to you a little bit, I think I could have sold more and been more involved in selling than just building the products. I, as a product person and or a service engineer, try really hard to build the perfect product, but I don't do enough to sell it once it's built. In fact, I probably should be selling before it's built if I was smart, but I really dork out on building the right product for the right people. I just got to get better at selling it. That's something I want to change in 2025. I also think that sometimes I get a little too caught up in the technology and not focused enough on the end result of what I'm trying to deliver. I get caught up in the excitement of the technology. This is certainly true of AI. We have an absolutely incredible AI tool on our website, but it's probably a little bit ahead of its time, and I probably could have sold it a little bit better. Finally, I think I could have also just gone a little bit faster. I think I get caught up in solving the problem for the day, and as we all do, and working on the business and not in the business is always a better strategy. Certainly a better strategy for me in 2025. So where does that leave us for Kayana's strategy for growth in 2025? So first of all, as it relates to training and development and the trials and tribulations of the years behind, to stay competitive, I fundamentally believe in training and development being at the center of our service offering. There's going to be plenty of people that are headhunting for customers and clients, but yet the marketplace is moving so quickly that unless you pair it with training and development, the person you source for an opportunity is going to be quickly outmoded. Our goal as a company is to stay ahead of that and continuously train and develop people, especially on AI tools, if only because the companies they're working with often are behind. So the way to stay ahead is for Kayana and our training and development to stay ahead. Secondly, elevating the client and the remote professional experience is going to be paramount. We're going to double down into the communities that we build, both for our remote professionals and for our clients, and really ensure that what we're delivering to these communities is personalized and in service to building trust between remote professionals and clients. There's so much opportunity out there, and it's through this relationship where we can truly harness it. Community is where it's at. And whether you're on site or off site, building those communities is the glue that keeps us together. And so when we think about creating experiences and improving experiences, it's not a either or. It's not, do I want to be on site and have a good cultural experience with the company I'm working for, or am I off site and do I feel removed? There are ways for companies to execute on cultural experiences and engagement and connection remotely. It's going to have to happen one way or another. We just have to focus on it and get good at it. Another way you can build these communities is by using your data better and to enhance those relationships. We have tons of data here at Kayana, and I'm sure every one of our listeners has a business that has a lot of data too. The question is what have you done with it? And we are going to, again, double down in 2025 in data-driven insights. By analyzing client behavior and feedback, by analyzing our remote professional behaviors, we're going to be able to find what resonates and what accentuates the capabilities of these folks as we refine our marketing strategies and we refine our products. Finally, growth is going to happen through outreach and engagement. We have a tremendous referral program going on, but there's nothing that beats a good phone call and a good campaign to connect people to the ideas that we're so passionate about. We fundamentally believe in what we're doing, but as I say and will say again, if a tree falls in the woods and no one hears it, doesn't make a sound. It doesn't matter how good we are if we don't go and tell people about it. And that's what we have to do. We have to do it in front of large audiences, getting on stages doing this, getting on virtual stages, real stages, and then having a strong sales team build those relationships and educate people on what we offer. I hope you're as excited about the year ahead as I am. I feel a sense of rejuvenation this time of year. And I'm generally a particularly hopeful person, but I get even more hopeful and more ambitious as I have the time and space to consider the opportunities in the year ahead. So we would be remiss if we did not also tell you about our plans for discovering the possible in 2025. Our goal for this podcast has always been to help you get closer and closer to the idea of remote work. If you're a remote professional, to understand the client and their needs and how remote professionals have helped them. If you're a client and you're looking to understand what remote professionals are all about, how well do they speak English? How well do they process? How well do they relate? What types of projects are they working on? We're going to get interviews with both remote professionals and clients. You're going to also take a deeper dive into specific industries. We're going to talk about real estate. We're going to talk about nonprofits. We're going to talk about solopreneurs and entrepreneurs and the types in industries, the types of people in the industries that are using remote professionals in their day-to-day work to help them scale their business. So I hope you're as excited as I am for the year ahead. Whether you're setting personal resolutions or business goals or both, start 2025 right. It's the perfect time to transform your approach and set yourself up for success. And do better than you did on your gym membership last year. Don't just buy the membership, actually go. If you'd like to learn more about how Kayana can support your business in the new year, discuss how we can collaborate, feel free to reach out. If you're watching this, I want to hear from you. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Discovering the Possible for more insights and check out our website and socials for all the latest updates. Here is to a transformative 2025. Let's make it the best year yet.